Today is Axel Christiansen's birthday. He's 100 years old. And we're at the Senior Center in South Deerfield. Four diamonds. They only got 5.
I had nothing. I am a clergyman, Church Congregational Church.
What's your name?
Oh, my name, George Corey, C-O-R-Y.
Okay, so we got the 5 and game, right?
Can you tell us your name?
No.
She forgot.
Bert Stenowitz.
Little
Bert Stenowitz.
And where do you live?
Right here in town.
And what brought you here?
Just a company.
No, to the town.
To the town.
Oh, to the town. Oh, I got married, and so my husband lived here all his life, so I came
And
with him.
what did you and your husband do for work?
Well, my husband was a plumber, and I worked at UMass.
How long have you been here?
In town, about 40-something years.
Just a little while.
Yeah, a little bit.
I actually live in Green.
Helen Ritkevitz.
Helen
Yeah.
Ritkevitz.
Came to town 59 years ago.
Why?
Got married.
People in South Deerfield don't leave. They make their wives, their husbands come here.
What did your husband do for work?
My husband owns Leo's TV in South Deerfield. He passed away in October.
Oh.
We know your son.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Leo. Leo Jr.
What is your name? Can you tell her?
Barbara Melanson,
Barbara Melanson. And where do you live?
here, South Deerfield,
And how long have you lived here in South Deerfield?
since 1961.
And what brought you here to South Deerfield?
My husband was transferred here for his work.
And what kind of
What?
work? Your husband was transferred here for work. What kind of work did your husband
He
do?
worked for
Worthmore.
Worthmore Feeds,
Worthmore Feed?
which went into True Value now.
Oh, that was a feed shop before?
Yes, farmers.
For farmers.
Yeah, it was a feed store.
I don't live here, I'm just visiting.
Where are you from?
Connecticut.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Amy Visconti.
Who are you visiting?
Peter
Shirley Peeler.
Shirley Pila.
Where is she?
She's out there working.
She's with the director of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Teresa Zaski, and I live in Whately. And I've been there for 53 years. I'm married, and my husband worked for construction, Puffer Construction in Amherst. Yeah.
Thank you. And what game are you playing here?
Pitch.
Pitch? Is it legal?
Well, we can't tell you
We
that.
don't play for money, so
Don't ask questions like that.
We're not.
They're playing for money over there.
we're not playing for money.
It's high stakes. So
Yeah.
Yes, I see over there. Yeah.
So what's it like? What kind of game is it? I've never heard of it.
Oh,
They play up and down the river over there.
yeah. Now she's asking about pitch. You explain it. Ellen.
Oh my God.
It's just high-low jack. and
High, low, jack, game, and five. Now we
Yeah.
play with the Phoebe. They call it the Phoebe.
The 5. 9
Okay,
points.
I'll come back and film
9 points.
while you're really playing.
Yes.
The distinguished grandson.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
The tall one. Hi, we've come to film your grandfather's 100th birthday
I
event,
understand that.
and also to
Do you
film
live
other
over in the
people.
cemetery?
In the cemetery? No, we don't live in the, not
house.
yet. One day we'll be there.
Across from the cemetery.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking to get out of that
Where do you live?
one. With my grandfather.
With him.
Well, I made a little flat down in the cellar, and I live downstairs. He lives upstairs.
That's wonderful. What's your name?
James.
What are your earliest memories of your grandfather? Can you think back? When you think of him, what do you think of?
Well, I can remember him. I can remember back when I was probably 4 or 5 years old.
And what was he doing then?
He was working in Boston, and I used to go because I got along real good with his neighbors. They were about our age, so we used to go over there and spend a couple weeks every summer there because my father used to be in the National Guard, so he used to go to Fort Drum before 2 weeks every year, so a lot of times we used to spend at least a week of that at my grandparents' house, and then occasional weekends here and there.
Hi there, Mr. Christensen.
What is your name?
Shirley Pilar.
And what do you do here?
I'm the director.
How long have you been here?
13 years.
13.
Yep.
Do you live in this town?
Whately.
In Whately for 13 years?
Yeah. Well, I've been in Whately for many, many years.
How many?
Oh, let's see. I came here when I was 35, and I'm almost 75 now. So,
What brought you to Whately?
oh, my husband's from Whately.
Your husband's work.
Yeah, no, he lived here. This is where he was born. Right up.
A lot of people have come that way. Yes. Would you like to
Yes, that's
introduce
right.
us?
My name is Mary Quinlan. I'm the social worker for the town of Deerfield, Sunderland, and Whately. And I've met Mr. Christiansen, actually before I took employment here. I met him at luncheon. He was full of ideas and very wise. So happy birthday, Mr. Christiansen.
Thank you.
Oh, hi.
Tell us your name and how you got here today.
What got here today?
What brought you to this event? How are you
Oh,
related?
Mr. Christensen's birthday. That's the big event.
What's your name?
Roman Bartos, South Deerfield.
How long have you been in South Deerfield?
Oh, like 77 years.
That's all.
Tell
That's
us,
all.
What brought your family to South Deerfield?
My parents, the work area at that time was onion country here. And they were hard-working immigrants. My father came with four of his brothers, and they settled in Sunderland. And my father was the only one that left Sunderland and came across the river,
Where did they come from?
Poland.
What part of Poland?
Białystok.
Sure.
That's up near the northwest corner of Poland, close to the Russian border.
Was that their name when they came here?
Their name was Bartoshevich. Yes. We shortened it because nobody would say their last name. I-C-C.
Why did they come to this area? Why did they settle here? Did they know someone? What brought them here?
No, they didn't know anybody, but they must have had some information of the valley being very rich in farming, and that's where they were looking for work. My mother worked as a cook for the people who owned the land and the onion fields, you know, like 50, 60, maybe 75 acres at it, because this was all onion country.
Do you remember the name of that family?
Not really. Hubbards was one of them. They were, wealthy people.
Where was this located? What streets?
Sunderland. Right on Main Street in Sunderland.
There were onions all over the place.
Oh, yeah, more onions than houses now.
And how
Before.
did what happened to the onions? Did they export them? How did they sell them?
They export them to different parts of the U.S., not anywhere else.
Where are your children? Did they stay here?
My children? No, they did not stay here. My closest son is in Miller's Falls, works for Montague Machine. Another son lives in Philadelphia. The third son lives in Ashland, Mass. Works for Raytheon. And my daughter lives in Westboro. She's an engineer for the large, what do I want to say, pharmaceutical company.
What did you do for a living?
Me? Started off farming with my parents because my parents owned 4 or 5 little farms all the way up the street from here, north of here. My father started with one farm, had a chance to buy another farm. They were small ones, like 5, 6, 8, 10 acres. Had a chance to buy the third farm, which was another 10 acres. Then they bought the 4th farm, which was a little larger, like 30 acres, with woodland.
He needed a lot of children to farm this.
He sure did. I'm the only one left out of the 5 brothers, and I had 6 sisters. There was 11 of us. as the women grew older, they left the area. They went into nursing. I had 4 nurses and 2 hairdressers, sisters. Big family.
How did your wife find you here?
We lived side by side on within.
Girl next door?
Oh, exactly. Yes.
What's her name?
First, Edith.
Edith what?
Her name was Stakarsky. Her name is Bartis now. Yeah. And like I say, we're neighbors, but
What was it like being Polish in those days in this town?
there were a lot of Polish people in this town, probably more than there are now. And being Polish didn't make me any difference. Went to church every Sunday like the parents told us to and showed us how. You know, and being Polish is almost like being Irish.
What's your name?
I'm Inge Andersen.
And why are you here?
I'm here because my best friend is being 100 years today, and we really loved him and his wife, Ingeborg. They took so much care of us when we lived here for 2 years ago. No, not 2 years, 10 years ago. We lived here for 2 years, and we have been in touch all these years. So we are coming back, and we have some things bringing.
Who is we?
My husband.
Which one is your husband? With the jacket?
Yeah.
I'll come to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
This is Pastor Rudy Beyer. Would you like to say a few words about Axel and why you're here today?
Sure. Yeah, I just met Axel today. He had sent some gifts to our church and wanted to come and thank him for that. So that is why I'm here.
Where is the church located?
In Amherst on Emmanuel Lutheran on North Pleasant. And Axel, I think his wife is Norwegian.
So is he.
So is he, yeah.
Okay. And so what is his connection to that church?
None, really. Just there's some friends of his who are members there, and he had sent a plate and some gifts.
What is your name?
Rudy Beyer, Pastor Beyer.
How long have you been at this church?
5 years.
Axel and Ingeborg was so.
They had us up when we came here as newcomers.
Was new here, and they took so much care of me, especially because my husband was working. So we will never forget that.
We've got
Get over here.
Tell me
my
your
sister
name.
come with me.
Yes.
I'm Carrie Connolly.
Conley.
Yeah, Connelly.
And you live in South Deerfield?
Sunderland.
Sunderland. How long have you been here?
Oh, I've been coming 25,
No, how long are you in Sunderland?
37 years.
Where did you come from?
Amherst.
And what brought you to Sunderland?
My son and his wife lived next door to us, and my husband was sick. So my daughter-in-law took care of him when I went back to work.
Wonderful. And who's your sister?
Over here.
What's your name?
My name's Edna.
Edna? Edna what?
Ball.
B-A-L-L?
Right.
And how long do you live here? Do you live in South Deerfield?
No, I live in Amherst.
And what brings you here today?
Well, we used to do crafts here.
Yes.
And so we always came on Wednesday and did crafts, and so we just continue to come.
Do you know Mr. Christiansen?
Yes, I do. Yeah, he's been around here all the time.
So you're a local from Amherst. You were born here?
I was born here, yeah, right.
Wonderful. What is your name?
Stanley Butkavis.
Stanley what?
Butkavis. B-U-T.
B-U-T, Butkavis. Come closer to me. I'm stretching out here. And what brings you here today?
Oh, just celebrate the birthdays, isn't it?
Uh-huh. How long have you lived here?
86 years.
In South Deerfield?
Yeah.
So you were born here?
I was born here. This is my first grade right here.
Are you the first in your generation born here?
No.
Your parents were born here too?
No, not them, but my brothers and sisters were. There was 9 of us.
Oh. Were you the youngest?
No, I'm one of the oldest right now. Most of them are gone. There's only me and my brother are left.
Do you have your children here?
Grandchildren. We have children over in South Deerfield, Hatfield, and all but they're close by.
What kind of work did you do?
I worked on a farm mostly, but and in between the tap and die work, and that was it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is my sister Doris. I'm Ellen.
And you're the daughters?
Yes.
So what are your last names?
My name's Olszewski. And
Doris?
her name, no, Ellen Olszewski.
Ellen Olszewski?
Doris Strockman.
And where do you live?
I live in Southeaston, which is about 20 miles south of Boston.
And I live across the street from my father.
Wonderful.
So. Well, I hope so. Where's Lenny? Come here. There's her husband, Lenny. Yes, yes.
Hi.
He's a Landsman. Hello, Landsman. Oh.
So who are you married to?
This woman right here. This lady right here.
So what's your name?
Glenn Strockman.
Welcome. You're the son-in-law.
Yes.
Welcome.
Right.
This is Mr. Christiansen's granddaughter, Lisa Mason. Where are you coming from?
From Halifax, Massachusetts.
Oh, wonderful. Where did Jenny go? And give me your name. I've already spoken to you.
Yeah, my name is Stig Andersen.
And you came here when?
We came here actually yesterday. We arrived into Boston Friday to celebrate Axel's 100 years birthday here today.
That's wonderful.
And that is from Denmark. We're coming, both of us, yes.
You and
my wife.
And your wife.
Yes.
Hello. Name and
Paul Hadsel from Warwick. I come from Warwick, Mass.
What brings you here today?
Well, I visit him. I'm a visiting volunteer for Franklin County Hospital.
Wonderful.
And I come and see him every Tuesday for about an hour and a half.
Who's this one?
That's my youngest son.
Well, let's do him first.
Come here.
Oh, I met this one. Oh, you're so tall. What's your name?
Bob.
Where do you live, Bob?
I live next door, across the street from Axel.
He's your grandfather.
He's my grandfather.
You want to tell us anything about Axel's special?
No. He likes to go for rides in my truck.
What do you do for a living?
I designer / draftsman.
What do you design?
I'm working for a company that makes meteorological equipment. So how do you say it? Meteorological. Up in Turner's Falls.
He does all kinds of volunteering, and she's a bashful, doesn't like
What's her name?
Pauline Valenjik.
Wallenzik. Get it right.
Where do you live?
In Sunderland. I lived here in South Deerfield.
Where did you live in South Deerfield?
On Pleasant Street.
And what made you leave South Deerfield?
The school. The house. Yeah, they built the school where her house was.
the parking lot.
My best friend that I grew up with had the same problem at the same time. She's been gone for 9 years. And Helen's still here.
Why are you here today?
Well, I'm here because my mother, Marjorie Roars, is a friend of Mr. Christiansen's. So I brought her, and I also know him. And
Tell me your name.
My name's David Roars.
And how long have you been living in this town?
Pretty much most of my adult life, yeah. I moved into town here, and I guess in trying to think, 67.
And then you brought your mother?
No, my mother's lived in town for many years. My father, her husband, was minister of the church next door, the Congregational Church.
Hello.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My name's Jane, and I'm making a record of who was here today. Could you tell me your name?
Marjorie Roars.
And how long have you lived in South Deerfield?
How long have I lived in?
Well, you moved from Sunderland to South Deerfield in 62.
Why did you move from Sunderland all the way to South Deerfield?
Well, my husband was a minister, and when he died, I moved here. So to have a home here. And I live in a 2-house apartment, so people are next door. Yeah, so now...
And what brings you here today?
You what?
And why are you here today?
To celebrate Mr. Christiansen's 100th. That is the most wonderful thing. What?
Presently 90, and should be, when will you?
91, I'll be in February. Thank you. Yes.
What's the build site person? Could you give us your name?
Elaine.
Elaine what?
Sakowitz.
Okay, where do you live, Elaine?
South Deerfield.
Elaine what?
Sakowitz. And what do you do at the center?
Well, right now I'm just a senior aide, part-time. 10 hours a week. That's enough. At my age, that's enough.
What's it like working with the people here?
Good. Yeah, good bunch of people.
Give us your name and what you do here.
Oh, my name is Jan Valeri. I'm the meal site manager, and I work for Franklin County Home Care. I've been here almost 12 years.
And what are we having today?
Okay. We're having chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, and soup. When we have soup, we don't have a vegetable. It's vegetable soup.
And what's this?
This is the bread.
Did you make it? There was a lovely lady here before.
I replaced her.
Yeah.
Could you tell us your name?
John Melnick.
John Melnick? I think we spoke to somebody whose last name was Melnick.
Yes, we have it been my wife. My wife was here.
Oh, how long have you lived here?
South Deerfield? 75 years.
What brought you here?
Huh?
What did you do for a living?
I work at the University of Mass in the lab.
In the library?
No, in the lab work.
Lab work?
Yeah, the building isn't there now. The building is there, but the job isn't there. They did away with a lot of jobs 10, 12 years ago. Just like they're doing today.
I think we're stopping the game. Can you give us your name?
Dot Butkevitz.
Dot?
Keep talking. Butkevitz.
Butkevitz. Uh-huh. And how long have you lived here?
I've been here now since 1944.
And did you come here to marry somebody?
Yes, I did.
Did I just tape him earlier?
Probably, you might have. He's out there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. What was your name before you took on his?
You'll never believe it, Snow.
Snow! Where do you come from?
Greenfield.
Oh, very far.
How did you meet each other?
We roller skated up at the Gables just about every night in the week. My father used to say to me, if I die, I hope my funeral is not on a Monday because you won't be able to come.
Give us your name.
My name is Pauline Griffith. Hi, Mr. C. I've been here for maybe 5 years as a senior aide, and I've known Mr. C for that many years.
Where do you come from?
I was originally born in North Hatfield, but I've lived in South Deerfield for 40 years.
What does your family do for a living?
One of my daughters is a pharmacist. Another one works for a publishing company, and my son works for a printing company.
And what did you do for a living before this?
I worked in a nursing home for 14 and a half years in the dietary department.
Which nursing home?
Amherst.
Oh, wait a minute, what's this?
Hold that up.
Oh, he wants to take a picture of you with that. No, they want to take a picture of you.
Hold that one up,
What's your name? If you live in South Deerfield, what you've done, what brings you here today? Go.
Okay. Well, I knew it was Mr. Christiansen's birthday. We didn't want to miss that. And my name is Idri Marchand, and I'm in South Deerfield. And I can say,
Yeah, give it to me again, your name?
Idri, E-D-R-I-E, Marchand.
And what brought you to South Deerfield? What do you...
For Mr. Christiansen's birthday.
But you live here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, we come here quite often.
Yeah, I'm on Streetway. Maurice Fuquay.
Fuquay? Was it Francais?
Yeah. No, I don't, but that's what it's from.
Fuquay.
Yeah. And I lived here in South Deerfield for 40 years. I came down to help to slow him, Mr. Christiansen, down so I can catch up with him.
Are you catching up?
Yeah, I'm 83. That's a long way to go.
What did you do for a living?
I worked Warner Brothers Construction. Warner Brothers in Sunderland.
Did you actually do construction?
No, I was plant operator.
Your name?
Mary Stakarsky. Town clerk, treasurer, and tax collector for the town of Deerfield.
And tell us about it.
This is the Boston Post cane that was presented back in, I think it was in '38, but I'm not sure the year, okay, to the town of Deerfield to give to the, present to the oldest resident in town. And what they do is they present it, and then we keep the cane. This year we're going to give him a pin honoring, especially his coming.
Why is it called the Boston Post?
They're the ones that made every city and town in Massachusetts the cane to present to the citizens. And it's been done for many years in Deerfield. It hadn't been done for a long time, but when I was cleaning the safe, I found it.
Okay, pray your mom.
Are you the granddaughter?
Southeastern. Southeastern, Mass.
Mr. Christiansen, you've got the most beautiful cake. I tried to get the fire department, they couldn't come, so we're not going to put no candles. I'm not going to put candles on your cake.
Special award first. No, from the town.
Where is Tony? We're standing there, but where's Tony?
Mark Gilmore, selectman.
My name is Mark Gilmore. The chair is unfortunately unable to attend, and the speech maker is sick in bed, so it falls to my shoulders to hopefully not stumble too badly. The town of Deerfield would like to bestow upon Mr. Christiansen a cane which he received last year, but this year, since he reached 100, we want to rededicate our commitment to the elderly.
Can I keep this here?
No. We have a pin made up for you, and Mrs. Oshesky will be pinning you because I think I draw blood.
Put it on his pocket.
Oh, I fix you.
Where do you want me to put it?
Close enough.
There, it's a special pin. It's an oldest resident.
From the senior center. And this is from all your senior friends, Mr. Christiansen. Oh, my God.
It sure does.
I can leave it right there.
What?
It's a fruit basket.
Yeah.
Oh,
my goodness.
Yeah, it's got a book. And here's a little something.
Oh, golly. Thank you, Shirley.
We're gonna put this in.
Well.
Well, statistics say that 1 in 10,000 people live to the age of 100. So this is a pretty amazing thing, and especially my dad, who doesn't look anywhere near 100.
People tell me you only look 75. You got more legs and you got all the hair.
They think I'm his wife.
I was talking to an old lady, and she says, I wish I had somebody that could come and live with me. And you know what I says? I'm available.
Oh, we saw that. We took a picture of him with it.
Well, it's certainly nice to have everybody here on this special day. We don't see, like as
Mr. C's daughter said we don't see many people celebrating a 100th birthday. And it certainly is an honor for me. I've known Mr. C for the 10 years we've been coming here. He's always been so kind and gentle and giving. And we sure appreciate it. Is there anything else? We're going to dispense with the announcements. We'll say grace. For our bodies quick and strong, they to serve the whole day long, for the power to think and know, for the will likely to grow, for the food by which we live. Father, thanks to thee we give. Amen.
My name is David Nixon. I'm town administrator of the town of
Dear
Deerfield.
Axel, can every dear member of the Christensen family, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure for Inge and I to be here together with you, Axel, today on your 100 years birthday. And to celebrate it together with you is a clue. We learned you and late Ingeborg when we lived at Storming Plain from 1988 to 1990 as one of our family's best friends. We keep all the personal memories at the bottom of our heart. Be sure of that, Axel. Dear Axel, we have two gifts for you today. And the first gift is from the mayor of the next largest city in Denmark called Aarhus, because where Axel was born in Brabant, that is now a part of Aarhus. This is a very nice book dedicated to you. And she also made a little notice, a little letter for you, which I'm going to read for you. First in Danish, it will be short, and then in an English translation. Now, the letter says, Dear Axel Christiansen, som borgmester i Aarhus er det mig en stor glæde at kunne sende denne lykønskning til dem på deres 100-års fødselsdag den 16. december 2002. Jeg håber, at bogen med billedet fra deres fødeby Aarhus bringer gode minder frem. Samtidig vil jeg ønske dem en rigtig dejlig dag, samt alt godt i fremtiden. Underskrevet Louise Gade. That sounds in English. Dear Axel Christiansen, it is a great pleasure for me as mayor in Aarhus to send you this congratulation on your 100 years birthday, the 16th of December 2002. I hope that this book, with pictures from your own town of birth, Aarhus, brings good memories forth. I would also like to wish you a pleasant day and best wishes for the future. With kind regard, Louise Gade, and she is the mayor of Aarhus. The book is dedicated to Axel with her signature and the short greetings for you, Axel.
Yeah.
This is one of the gifts we have for you. The next gift is a personal thing from Inge and I, and it is actually a scrapbook. It is a scrapbook with memories and memorables from the local museum in Brabant, from Denmark.
Where did you get the pictures?
And we got the pictures. We got the pictures from the museum, and we got the pictures from your family in Denmark, and we have also greetings from the families in Denmark. Ellen's first cousin Paul said to us that he probably had more family in this state than he has in Denmark. You will find included in this scrapbook what I would call a first revision of a family tree.
Yeah.
It covers 6 generations. There are more than 50 people in here.
Oh my.
And Axel's grandpapa participating in the Danish-German War in 1864 is the head of the family tree. And Inge and I would like to give you this as a personal present and with a good luck for the future.
Where do you get the picture from?
Oh, you will never say it. That's a secret. And finally, I would like to say that we have sent a notice to the biggest 4 newspapers in Denmark with a notice of Axel's 100 years birthday. I will not read that because that's a lot of things that is in Danish. And we have also to bring to you, Axel, from your Danish part of family, some personal greetings unopened here, so that is for you. Ladies and gentlemen, and Axel, thank you.
This is Axel's corner. This is where he sits every day when he comes. And these are all his gifts to the center.